Carson in Oklahoma. How you doing, Carson? Carson?
Carson?
We can't
Yes,
hear
here we
you.
are.
I
Hello.
don't know. Hey.
There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Hey, Jim. How are you doing?
Doing okay. Got Armin here with me as well.
Hey, Armin. How are you doing?
Good, good.
All right.
What do you got?
Do you
that's
want to
wonderful
talk
to hear
about
you guys'
navigating?
voices.
Pardon?
There's a delay, so I'm going to wait and let you finish.
No, go ahead. Well, you said you want to talk about navigating sobriety groups as an atheist.
Yes, that is exactly what I wanted to talk about. I'm going through some sobriety hurdles here, and I can't help but struggle with the issues. Like when I'm going to meetings and things like that, people are constantly talking about. This is a little hard for me. Sorry. People are constantly talking about finding their higher power and things like that. And I don't really love the way that they talk about it, but I can't seem to find my way around those types of meetings and things like that. And I was wondering if you guys just had any advice. Like, I don't want to take too much time, but it's a struggle for me lately. So I was hoping you guys might have a little something to say.
The only thing I can really do is recommend seculartherapy.org, the Secular Therapy Project. They might be able to steer you towards a more secular-oriented sobriety group or organization. That be, at the very least, they might be able to do that. Same thing for like recovering from religion. Either of those organizations would be able to steer you more towards a secular group. Are you in a big city or are you out in the rural areas?
I am in one of the largest cities in the region as far as like landmass goes. That's Oklahoma City.
Right. Okay.
It's a big wide city, but there's not a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's a lot of hope being in Oklahoma. You've got a couple of atheists out there.
So.
Yeah, there's a couple of atheists out there. I know that. The Thinking Atheist, Seth Andrews, is, of course, from your neck of the woods. And I'm sure there are more out there. I went to an event out there that had quite a few atheists show up. So I would be interested, to maybe by talking to those folks, they might know some organizations. And then also Atheist Community of Discord and our chat channels on Facebook, our Facebook pages would also be some good resources to go and find some, to go ahead to find some of those organizations. And maybe if you find an organization but they don't have a chapter in your area, maybe that's something you want to do and look into. I don't know. But other than that, I don't know that, higher power can pretty much mean whatever you want it to mean. And that could just mean the self you want to be, right? You could just translate higher power into the person I want to be. And what would, whatever they're doing to the higher power, you could just do to that self that you're trying to be. And I think we all have a self we're trying to be, whether we're recovering from addiction or not. But that might work. I don't know. What do you think?
That's what I've tried a lot, is to apply my own definition to it. I just feel, even if I do that, going to a lot of these meetings, there is kind of an overarching, not necessarily Christian, but religious perspective. And trying to come at this from a much more, scientific and a much more humanist perspective, I just really struggle with that terminology specifically. I think I'm definitely like a descriptivist when it comes to that. And so the way that they're using it really affects how I am perceiving that word or that terminology. So I don't know. I've struggled with it, and I was just curious to see what everyone thought. But also, like anyone else out there struggling, just know you're not alone. Love you guys.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Go ahead, Armin.
Go ahead, Jim. No, I just want to say I haven't had experience with this, but even with somebody like me that hasn't had any experience with this, I have come across so many people in the atheist community asking about this and referring each other. So I know there's a lot of resources for atheists out there. Like given that somebody like me that hasn't been involved in any of this before, like how many times have come across this, there is like online, like the number of resources people keep recommending with each other, and so many people are trying to provide an alternative to all these other ones that many atheists don't like. So I don't know how hard you've looked, but I know for a fact that there are a lot of atheists out there trying to provide support for other atheists when it comes to this. So know that there are alternatives out there. And I know that maybe even if you're in an area where there's not that many, I don't know, atheists, I just know there's a lot of online communities, online supports, people meeting with each other online, face to face. So I don't know if that helps at all or not, but I'm pretty sure if you keep looking, you will be able to find those resources. And like Jim also referred you a lot of good ones.
Yeah, and I mean
But go on,
that's a big one, Armin, is the online aspect of things. Like I'm really been focusing on the in-person meetings, and being that I am in Oklahoma City, there is definitely just an undertone with all that. I think that in-person has been a big part of my recovery, and like trying to go to those meetings and things like that, just to connect with people and to try to have community in that way. I've been going to Buddhist meetings, mostly because I very much like mindfulness meditation, but other than that, I don't really believe in a lot of the tenets that they put forward necessarily. But I find the Buddhist meetings to be a lot more palatable, I guess you could say, than like AA or other meetings like that. So
can you also maybe start a group yourself? Like, is that an option?
I think it is theoretically. The like jumping to the actually getting it done is definitely the hurdle there.
Right.
Right.
I mean, if you manage to do that, that would maybe help a lot of people like yourself. So consider doing that.
Yeah, you're right, Armin. That might help a lot of people like myself.
Yeah. And hopefully it doesn't interfere with you staying sober and staying on track.
It might keep your mind busy as well. If you have to do that, I don't know, maybe it will keep your mind busy enough to, I don't know, actually I shouldn't say anything because I don't know how this works. So, but it might help.
Yeah.
Because you have a goal or something. But anyways, thank you, Carson. Was this helpful at all? I mean, Jim gave you a lot of good resources.
Yeah, it was.
So I hope this was,
Yeah, honestly, I do need to get onto the Discord. I try to avoid some of it sometimes just for my own mental health, trying to argue online or be a part of some groups that make me argumentative. But I'll definitely try to pop on there and see what people are talking about or saying.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
All right.
Thanks for calling, Carson. Good luck to you.